All right, friends, welcome back again to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. This YouTube channel is dedicated to everything Bannerlord related, and especially field command and advanced tactics. And this was essentially a subscriber request. We're going to have a battle of sort of classic kingdom clashes here. This is Khuzait versus Sturgia. And what I'm showing you now is that essentially both sides have all of their units available, including one minor clan faction for each side. Everything except for the absolute lowest peasants, right? And so theoretically, these armies on the battlefield should be roughly the equal strength, right? They have all the highest potential, so cons guards for them. And what we're going to do here is we're going to significantly outnumber us as Sturgians. We'll give them Manchug here, we'll make it very authentic, and we will play out this custom battle in an open valley, right? This valley should be ideal for Khuzait, right? We could hide at the very back of the map here and make it so they can't circle us, but we're not going to do that. We're going to fight out here in the open so that it's theoretically Khuzait's sort of best scenario for winning against Sturgia, and we're going to maul them with tactics. Now, the formations I use, if you want to emulate, I'm going to basically try to enumerate all these things. The 4th and 5th Corps are archers, but we're going to be specializing a lot of our units in this battle. We're also going to be using a strategy that I've been developing for a little while. I'm going to have a whole entire series of videos or one big special episode that covers this particular tactic. And it's ideal for destroying cavalry, but it also works very, very well against mixed forces and extremely well against cavalry. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is divide our divisions up. The 6th is skirmishers, and I'm zooming in here to make sure a lot of these guys have javelins. Right, it's the brigand, I think, or the something like that. It's like a tier 3 infantry for the Sturgians has javelins. The 3rd is going to be shock troops, right? So I'm splitting the infantry into 3 divisions, and this is purposeful because they each have a different job. The next thing we're going to do is most of our cavalry is going to be in a big circle like this, a defensive circle. That is the foundation of this principal strategy. Now, we're not going to be doing something huge like this. This is not very effective. Similarly, the AI tries to do this. That's not effective either because the archers can't shoot. What you want, I've found, is for it to be about 2 horses deep. So we're using the RTS mod here, which brings up those nice little green dots. People ask all the time what that is, the RTS mod. That's also going to allow us to fight this battle with the overhead view. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the 7th Cavalry, this small cav division, to jam up this area even more. And that's because that's where the horse archers primarily start their attack. Now, we can move that 7th Division around, but for now, it's going to start right there at that edge. Now, here's what the infantry looks like. The 1st is spear and shield infantry. We want these guys being defensive. The 3rd, we want these guys to be mostly shock troops. Shock troops are your two-handed wielding fucking axe murdering motherfuckers. We don't want these guys to have shields in this division. Now, it's okay if a few guys have shields in here, but again, we want these divisions specialized for how we're going to use them in this attack. So I'm thinning this division down until it's mostly their heroic line breakers and their line breakers, right? The 2 different Sturgian shock troops are excellent at killing people, but they're highly defenseless, right? They don't have a shield, so we're going to protect them. Now we're going to use this 1st division to bear the brunt of the initial cavalry charge from the enemy, right? And we're going to use them towards the front in 2 different main formations. We will start in a wide shield wall like this to block arrows, and we will tuck the 3rd division, these guys without shields, directly behind them, right? In fact, you can tuck them very close behind them, and they should take very few arrows. Meanwhile, the 6th skirmishers will either be at the back like this, or sometimes I'll put them towards the middle in front of the archers. Now, the archers, we're going to make a high-ranking archer division because we effectively want 1 archer division inside here that's very powerful, and then we effectively want to distract the enemy with a weaker archer division outside the ring. I'll show you that in a minute, but you can see the skirmishers in this case would protect the archers, and that when the cav is attacking them, they'd be getting javelins thrown at them. The 5th archers, which is scrub archers in this scenario, right? These are the lowest ranking guys. These guys are at their back to give them a little bit of protection, but honestly here, and don't tell these guys are bait in this battle. I want them getting shot at. I would prefer these archers, and they're going to do a little bit of shooting themselves, but I would prefer they take the brunt of the arrows rather than our elite archers, which we're protecting in the middle. Now, here's what we're doing, right? We're squaring the 1st, and then as the enemy comes in and attacks that 3rd, we will attack it with this shock division. Now, that's probably not going to happen in this battle because it's Khuzait. Khuzait typically has lots of heavy cav, and that's obviously going to lead to a heavy cav charge. So we're going to be using them more in a line formation and then charging with the 3rd Corps, this shock division unit, once the enemy gets in here. right? So I'm trying to show you essentially how we're going to start and then what we're going to do once the enemy makes their attack, right? Khuzait is almost certainly going to attack. They typically play very aggressively. We're not as worried about their infantry, but if you were facing a lot of infantry, what you would do is you would distract with that first division, and then once the enemy is sort of distracted with them, you'd attack them with the 6th and the 3rd, and maybe even the archers, all within this square, or within this circle. What we're doing is effectively creating an arena where we control the exit, right? We control the entry and the exit, and the enemy has to come into our arena to fight us, right? It's like a twisted form of Mad Max 2 or something like that. You know, 2 kingdoms enter, 1 will leave, right? All right, so we're going to use the RTS mod here so that guys can see tactically what we're doing. And again, this is disadvantageous, but we're going to do this so that the Khuzait has as fair a fight as possible. We're going to fight them out in the valley like this, and it's disadvantageous for us for a number of reasons. First, I don't think we're going to be fully set up by the time the Khuzait start shooting at us, right? That means our shield walls won't be up yet. Our forces will still be sort of running to get into position, and that 10 or, I don't know, maybe it'll be 30 seconds will give the enemy time to start a shoot and attack us without us having a counter to that. Now here's the main crux of this strategy. Any cavalry that tries to charge you does most of their damage when they're moving quickly. Cavalry that is standing still is highly vulnerable to being counterattacked, and a lot of their damage goes away. Now Khuzait does have the glaives, right? They have very strong glaive like Khan's guards and heavy archers, but if they come in here, they are going to be getting attacked by a variety of different troops in a variety of different ways, and it's going to give very unpleasant results for the Khuzait cav that come in here. Now you see this triple or quadruple layer of cav over there on the left, right? That is to absorb all these arrows. Kind of like I had feared, they're unloading arrows before our units are even into position, right? Our archers are still mounting up. In fact, I'm going to tell our 3rd Corps to stop because they're leading, and I don't want them getting shot first. I want the guys with shields out in front. Now we can move them into place, right? So we'll move the 1st Division just like I showed you before, right towards the front here, and the 3rd Corps tucked in right behind them. Meanwhile, we're going to have the skirmishers in front of the archers here in a shield wall, and that's also helping absorb arrows that would normally be smoking our archers. Okay, here come their cav charge faster than I was ready for, so we're going to do this in slow-mo. This ought to be beautiful, in fact. With the RTS mod, I have the ability to slow this. In fact, I can slow it down even more than this. So I'm shifting my infantry slightly to meet where they're coming in here. We're going to slow this down even more so you can see this. Now, these cav are running at full speed. You can't tell because it's slow-mo, but look at what they have to run through. All of this heavy horse and shields and spears, and then once they get through all that, if they get through that, then there's a line of spear infantry. Sturgian has some of the best. Then they have the 3rd Infantry behind them, all these shock fucking warriors and whatnot. Once they get in here, and it's pretty imminently, now the javelins start flying. In fact, this guy's getting pounded. He just got killed by javelins, right? This stupid guy made his way into the ring. Now we unleash the dogs of war, right? This 3rd Corps with their savage weapons, we attack with them, the 1st, the 6th, and I might even attack with the archers here all at once. And watch this play out. These guys are now attacking cavalry that is moving slowly. They're not being hit by a lot of damage from the cavalry, of course, because the enemy's moving slowly, and a massacre is about to ensue. Now that you get an idea of what's going on, I'm going to go back and you can see the 6th is charging in here. Now we'll do normal speed so you can observe the damage. And their infantry's coming behind them. They're welcome to die too if they want to enter our tournament here. Here you go, watch this death spam. You can see their cav is all bound up and moving slowly. The archers are now told to charge and hold fire. That way all of them are swinging their weapons, and they'll overwhelm these guys. Look at them pounding the cav. They're killing guys. They're dismounting guys left and right. I'm just chasing their cav out of here, basically saying, this is our ring. You come in here, you die. Now we're going to reset the archers and tell them to shoot, but look at this death spam up here. Their infantry's coming in here and getting destroyed. It's not all green. You can see our troops at the back here. These guys are going to get absolutely eviscerated, right? There's like 150 horse archers shooting them full of arrows. But the main battle right here is a destructive victory for us. You can see our cav line is holding up, right? You can see the death spam is, I don't know, 70% in our favor at this stage. Their infantry's down to 21 guys. Now I'm actually starting to move infantry towards the front because I want to block even more arrows. We're going to start, this is the 7th Cav, we're going to position them towards the back. These guys are getting shot to pieces, but we told earlier, like I'm whispering because I don't want them to hear. We want those guys getting shot. That way our elite archers in here are not taking as many arrows, right? It's basically bait. Right, all warfare is based on deception. This is Sun Tzu, and we are deceiving the enemy into this cookie while we fucking pound them with arrows from our protected guys in here. And of course, some of those guys are going to die. Now, their archers here are easily destroyed at this stage, right? This 70 guys, we want to kill these guys before we move on to the horse archers, right? We don't want these 70 guys just shooting at us without some kind of answer. So we're moving up the cav line, both infantry lines, and we'll also attack with the 7th. And what we're basically going to do is use this cav in a shield wall to protect our units as they charge forward, right? So the cav is in a shield wall, the infantry is in a shield wall, and they're absorbing arrows for us left and right. Now they're close enough, we can move them into the enemy area, right? Basically we're basically closing the net on these archers. And now that they're close, they charge, and the infantry is told to charge as well. That cavalry has basically blown the door open for us to get to their archers. Now our infantry units can move up here, and once our infantry reaches these guys, it's going to be, we're suffering some death now because they're getting shot on the approach. Once they reach them, though, these guys are going to absolutely destroy every single Khuzait archer here. You don't want two-handed weapon guys if you're an archer on you, and that's not only two-handed weapons, but there's guys with shields, there's heavy cav, there's noble units. Of course, a lot of our cav is in good shape because they're in a shield wall the whole battle, facing the horse archers, blocking arrows. And again, those military-minded folks that know all the war axioms, that have read a lot of Sun Tzu or have done a lot of war history, we are obeying one of the vital laws, right? We are killing their units in detail. What that means is we're focused on one unit at a time. You notice we're ignoring the horse archers here. What we're doing is annihilating their archers. We already destroyed their heavy cav charge. We destroyed their infantry division when it entered our inner circle of hell. The archers just got completely trucked. Now it's time to put down their horse archers. And if you glance up at the power bar at this stage, you know this battle is over. Unless we retreated or did something stupid, this battle at this stage is academic. You can see their horse archers are actually putting up a pretty good fight. It shows the strength of them, right? Like hand to hand, they're butchering our noble line cavalry. In fact, our 2nd Division of cavalry is all but gone. That doesn't matter though, because we still have like 100 and, I don't know, maybe 160 units, and now we can effectively just slowly wear them down through the war of attrition. We'll start getting a little bit more tactical here. We're putting guys in shield wall formation, and we're going to start to put our units close to each other, right? We don't want to be spread about. We don't want our guys just kind of running around chaotically, because that's what benefits horse archers the most. Now that their horse archers are kind of bound up here, we charge with the 3rd, we charge with the 1st, and all of these infantrymen can finally come to grips with these horse archers because they're forced to come and attack us, right? More green death spam. A lot of them, I hear them routing actually. Meanwhile, of course, our elite archers are moving up, right? They're shooting guys. They're shooting guys off their horses still. And look what good a shape they're in, right? Very few of those guys are dead. And that's because they were protected in the circle the whole battle. So 180 to 62. This is despite the fact that we are outnumbered by like 60 or 70 troops to start this battle, right? We have the same strength of units, and we're outnumbered by 70. If you auto-resolve this battle, you're going to lose every time. Where the fuck? I'm trying to look at this guy. What a coward. This is my main hero, or whatever you want to consider him, the companion that was leading this army. He was like hiding up into the woods. He's like fucking Grima Wormtongue from the Lord of the Rings. I guess he was carrying his sack of rice up into the hills because he peed himself as soon as battle started. We're going to make this guy a little bit more valiant here. We're going to give him a little bit of Khan's Guard action here. I see you, motherfucker, trying to attack me. We're going to sort of finish off this battle. But at this stage, anybody looking at the power bar, you know this is academic, right? It looks like they've got maybe a dozen Khan's Guards that are left here. Khan's Guards are very hard to kill, right? These guys are highly armored. They're on a horse. They're running our troops over, and they swing a nasty glaive, right? These are powerful units. Still, when there's like six or maybe there's 10 of them at this stage, it doesn't matter, right? We have all these archers still shooting. They're still getting a kill or two. But at this stage, this battle is academic. So I'm just going to chase these guys down while, again, I sort of summarize the main ideas behind this concept. This particular subscriber said that he was having a really difficult time because Khuzait has better infantry than the Sturgians. I'm not quite sure I agree with that statement. I don't think that Khuzait, they're dark hands if you just pit them against like Sturgian spearmen. I've heard people have run tests and they win. But you can't, I like to not think of the game quite in that manner. There's no question that like Britannian Fiend champs against any other archer just maul them, but versatility can't be underestimated in Bannerlord. And the Sturgians, especially with the help of the noble line, not the noble line, the minor clan, these lake rats, they have all three of what I consider the main critical infantry units. They have the spearmen with very strong armor, a spear and decent melee ability, and a shield. They're very tough. They have outstanding shock troops, right, in their Sturgian heroic linebreaker. And of course, finally, they have the javelin units, right? So they have the three types of infantry that I would consider essential for success. And as you saw with this inner circle of hell, we're using these units very specifically. This guy's finally regaining his honor from hiding in the hills. He's racking up the kills now on these supposedly powerful Khans guards. He's still at full health. But I think you understand now, with the right strategy, with the right defensive structure, you can absolutely obliterate the Khuzait. That guy got beheaded, and that pretty much wraps up this battle. So this is supposed to be very difficult, and we absolutely mauled them here. We probably have 130 troops surviving, 174, right? So we have almost half of our troops that are left, despite the fact that we were outnumbered by 70. Yeah, so just chasing down this one last Khuzait coward here. Oh shit, I guess it crashed. I guess our strategy was so effective here that it caused the game to crash. Maybe Bannerlord can't handle it when advanced tactics are used to completely demolish the foe here. Our game just crashed. So we'll wrap it up. This was kind of a short and sweet episode. Again, this inner circle of hell. I have other episodes coming up. In fact, I'm probably working on a special where it covers how to deal with infantry, how to deal with heavy cav, Valandia with this inner circle of hell, and you can learn more details about it. So hopefully, you know, the guy and the guys out there that are dealing with difficult Khuzait forces get to see this video, get to practice this formation. Hell, you can practice it in the custom battles. Again, that's all I'm doing here. You didn't see me using elite skills or anything like that, right? I think this is something you guys can all pull off, and hopefully, at the next thing you know, you're holding up the head of Mongchug after your successful campaign. So this wraps up another custom battle. Again, please subscribe and like if you want to learn more about how to kick ass in Bannerlord. We're having a lot of fun here. Let me know if you want to see a particular challenge taken on, and I will do my very best to do so. So thanks again for watching, friends. Please like, subscribe. Like I said before, all that stuff's good for the channel. It'll bring more people here and we can help them out. And I appreciate you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time.